Good evening, everyone. It is October 10th, 2023, and I already put out a video going over the trade review from today. That was getting long around the open there on 43.73 and a quarter, I think, and popped those out at right above the overnight high at 81, and then I think the rest of it was around 85 to 87, somewhere around there. I think it was this cluster over here. Now, I was looking for us to get into that 435 and 40 cents on the SPY. That was right here. That's where we had that initial kind of sell off, and then I was thinking, maybe up to 38.50. We got up to 37.20, but I really thought this initial leg might take the whole day, and I didn't really think that this second leg would happen. All of that by about noon. Um, I wasn't expecting some sort of insane rally today. I was expecting it to move up to about 4,400, that kind of, whatever that is on the SPY, 435 and 40 cents. But again, I wasn't expecting some sort of enormous linear move upwards. Uh, I was mentioning to my friends there that I was thinking you might have a slow open where we get people short and then it squeezes up, and then when it's time to actually short, like it was in the afternoon, people are too scared once we've actually distributed the product, and instead people start looking for bids and they get ran over. That's exactly what happened. That's why at the end of the day I was telling people, careful finding the bid after targets are hit. I mentioned that I think around 11:49 or something, pretty much at the high of the day. I was mentioning careful trying to look for a bid on this thing, and into the close it was just kind of groggy into the close, just a downward move. Maybe you could have scalped some longs, but for the most part, just nothing there. Now, that's enough on yesterday and what I said and what this said and blah blah blah. Let's talk about what's to come. Tomorrow morning, pre-market PPI 10:15, FOMC's Waller 2 p.m. More FOMC crap with the minutes coming out at 2. So in general, what I'm going to be looking for is a more volatile morning from that 8:30 pre-market until I imagine about 10:30. I imagine the euro close will be a little bit quiet going into 11:30 and noon, and then I expect some pretty supreme chop from 12 to 2, and then again a pickup in volatility after that 2 p.m. into the close with the minutes being released. And again, we got CPI the day after on Thursday. So tonight, what I'm expecting with futures is a quiet session. I'm not expecting much to happen. Now, so far, futures are trading. Get rid of all this crap. Futures are trading above their open over here at 43.90. We're trading pretty much the entire night above it so far, and we're trading above that 4 p.m. close there at 43.91 half. So we're trading above the close, above the Globex open, all that sort of stuff. I want to see if we can get an indication of if we can take out these highs during Globex. If we can tag that, that'd be great. That's a bit of an ask, given that'd be a 27-point move, but Globex has been pretty active lately. In general, I doubt we're going to get some sort of huge move, huge sell or bid or anything overnight, just because we are waiting on that PPI data. If the data is able to wick into either the highs or the lows of the RTH session from today, perhaps that can give me a little bit of a lean. In general, I'm going to be long biased, as once again we are well above settlement highs. That would be what, tomorrow's Wednesday. We'll be above Monday's highs over there. We'll be way above Monday's low, wherever the hell that is, down here somewhere, 43.16 or something. Yeah, 43.16. We'll be above lows. We'll be above Monday's close, Tuesday's open, Monday's open, the weekly close, all that structural open, high, low, close stuff from today's RTH session and the day prior, which will be settlement. We're above all that, and we're going to be above the third standard deviation of last week's VWAP as well. So we're going to be still in that sort of price exploration mode. So I will be long biased going in tomorrow. I want to be mostly looking to buy the dip. I think we'll have a rotational session, especially after two massive squeeze sessions. a 3 actually. I think we'll have a nice rotational session around this level ahead of that as we await that FOMC minutes data. One last thing about what we've had so far. Both of these days coming in with super low volume. I thought today or yesterday may have just been because of the holiday, with it being Columbus Day and bonds closed. I thought maybe that was the reason for the low volume bids. Uh, but today, I think it's actually slightly less today, 78.6 million shares versus 80 million the day before. Nasdaq a little bit more today, volume wise, just a tad bit more. But again, very low volumes on this breakout thus far. So I don't have the most conviction on this buying. I think the Russell also. Yeah, Russell also had a really insignificant volume, so 31 million shares there versus Friday with 42, and really where we found the bid had 43 as well. So, and all these sell sessions were right around that 43 mark. So, not a lot of conviction on the buying so far, but until we get below settlement lows, until those catch up, uh, that might be today's low at 43.71 by Thursday. If we're opening around here, maybe we do break settlement lows, and maybe all of this becomes overhead inventory from Monday afternoon, all of Tuesday, all of Wednesday, and maybe then we can sell back down to 4,300, 4,250, all that sort of stuff. But until then, the structure and the volume is below us, and I'm going to be a little bit inherently long biased. Sorry for the ramble. Let's get into the actual levels here. Nothing too confusing. I'm continuing to be long biased. Maybe today's close or the point of control somewhere here looks like a decent level. This also looks like a decent level. If we break the overnight high, I'll be looking to get long somewhere here for a break of the daily high and to get into that gap close. And this potentially becomes a sell, 438 and 50 cents. Although again, I think the better move is to be long. I mentioned that yesterday, that the better move is to be long. I mentioned that perhaps you get a fade around here or around this level, and you did get a scalp fade. You got whatever, a 50-cent pullback or something, 75 cents, 70 cents, 71 cents. But the better move was to be long. I was mentioning that all day yesterday in that video. And again, I think unless we get some heavy selling that breaks the overnight low and today's RTH low, unless we get that sort of action happening, I once again, especially if we open above that settlement high and we get a wick into today's RTH high during that PPI data, I think the better move is still to be long, looking to buy dips. Now, if we do get into this weekly high over here from not last week, but the week before, perhaps we get some selling. I would be looking to buy it at last week's high. I'd be looking to buy it at the second standard deviation of VWAP, the weekly close, any of this stuff. I'd be looking to be a buyer. NASDAQ. Again, I'm looking to be a buyer. There's that sell level I had. It was just an important spot. It just looked at an important level. Perhaps we get some more selling off of there tomorrow. The Nasdaq once again behaving a little bit weaker than ES. Struggled in the morning more than ES. Eventually did find a bid and ramp upwards. Here's that first half of the year's close, been an awesome level for pretty much 4 months at this point. I'd be looking to take that long or the close long. There's a point of control somewhere in between the two of these, right around there, 369-ish. But long here, especially in the event again, break of the overnight high or the previous day's high, some sort of acceptance of these prior auctions going into the open. And that I want to be long. Last week's SD3 point of control. What is this? Settlement close. Prior week's high. We lose that stuff. I think we traverse down into this auction here from yesterday afternoon. I think that becomes a buy as well. So overall, I'm long biased still. Give me a couple days and maybe that'll switch. But for now, the volume is below us. Settlement lows are way down here, 14 points lower on the SPY. And on the Qs, settlement lows are, yeah, 14 points lower as well. So until I see some volume show up that the seller is present, or until I see settlement lows get above us, I'm going to be long biased intraday. So anyway, hope that helps. Hope that makes sense. It's a long one today. Data pre-market gives us the volatility. Waller yapping. After the euro close, this becomes a mess until those minutes are released. I'll be done by then. I don't want to trade that sort of volatility. It gives some statistical anomalies. Have a great night. Trade safe if you are trading this. I expect it to be a pretty boring night ahead of data. Hope that helps.